So I was just talking to my buddies overseas in the UK, and he reminded me of some of the things that I dealt with. Oh, that's frozen. That's frozen. I remember going through this journey. There would be episodes, like I mentioned, like the more you heal physically, the more you, 9 times out of 10, the general path that people take is they heal physically. They're like, oh wow, this is fantastic. And then the OCD, anxiety, mental alarms spike. The brain has lost its ammo to show, to bait you in to look at the alarms. It can't show you alarms because you took the alarms and turned them off, the physical ones, right? So the brain has to get very inventive, and it's getting desperate now. It's like, okay, how do I tell him that there's a lion there? I can't, because he's taken away all the alarm switches, right? You got these alarm things that you pull. What do you call those things? Those pull stations, right? The brain doesn't have those anymore to get you to pay attention and acknowledge and to be aware of the danger. It's perceiving lots of danger. And now you've taken away all those pull stations, right? So it has to get inventive. So it's got to create different pull stations. And so it sends alarms, mental alarms, to the mind and spikes it. So it's relentless. And I've talked about this a lot in a bunch of my videos, probably like 4 of them. Check it out, OCD spikes. Why is it the more I recover, the more anxiety I get, more OCD, more intrusive thoughts, PTSD. You'll find all of a sudden, you never cared about certain things, and all of a sudden now you got post-traumatic stress from this healing journey, right? You can get post-traumatic stress from a trauma event, and your symptoms can become traumatic because your OCD mind, right? Your brain is sending you OCD to scan for danger, right? It's like, okay, we got to send him OCD because he needs to scan for danger. So you're doing that, but it's relentless. And the brain is constantly putting you in a nightmare, right? So that's what the OCD does. It's trying to get your attention to scan for danger and to bait you into the root alarm, which is fear and perceived danger. There are alarms. It's all an alarm, right? So it sends you all these alarm pull station. Now you have the pull stations that are in the form of mental alarms, and these can feel way more intense, and it can almost feel like you wish you had your physical symptoms back. You're like, you know what, fucking no. I missed it when I had a pain here. Now I feel like I'm going crazy. Oh my God, right? And you feel like you're going crazy. And then all of a sudden, depends on the day, because it constantly morphs and changes, right? It has a rotating menu. So on a Tuesday, you all of a sudden notice that you have phobias that you never had before. When before in life you're like, yeah, whatever, what, spiders, right? Or what, a field? Why am I scared of a field all of a sudden? Why is this sound triggering me? Why is this, right? Because the brain is in such a sensitive high alert that everything becomes perceived, everything's a threat. And it also makes it a threat just in case, right? That sound, just in case, put it up there, because your baseline's at 1,000, right? When your baseline's at 1,000, your alarm system's going mayday, beep, 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 mayday, right? So it's doing its job, and it's doing it brilliantly. So the way it does it is it brings on phobias, gives OCD, intrusive thoughts, PTSD, anxiety, anxiousness, panic attacks, right? This is all to keep you alive, right? Because when you're on guard and it goes, okay, what are we doing? I'm perceiving that there's a lion on your back. So what are we doing? We need to have an urgent reply from you, Helmet. What are we doing? Are we going to fight? Or are we going to flee? Right? And this is where it's asking for a response, a correct response. So what you can do is you can acknowledge the alarms, right? Acknowledge them, ask for more, show confidence, cocky confidence, and in the language of your attitude, the brain will see that you're safe. And the way you show messages of safety is how you respond in the presence of danger. Right? How are you responding in the middle of danger? When you're sitting in danger, how are you responding? That's what the brain watches. That's when it goes, right? That's when it analyzes and has a surveillance team all over you. Right? It analyzes you and it goes, let's watch him. Okay, we got the cameras here. We can hear what he's saying, what he's feeling. We can feel what he's feeling. Right? We're gonna listen in. And you know what? He's asking for more. He's loving it. He's leaning into it. He's dancing. Okay, let's turn these alarms off. Some of the weird things that I noticed is that I had random phobias. Phobias and I didn't understand. But I understand that these phobias, the root was suffering and death. Usually, that's the core root alarm. It has to do with suffering and death, and not having to go through your perfect storm that you went through, that triggered this whole mess, right? And throughout life, you started going uphill slowly. Your bucket started getting full slowly, and your baseline started to climb, right? So then you might have had events and things that got you there, whether it's bad relationships, bad work environment, surgeries, medications, you name it. If it affected you mentally or physically, the body keeps a score and holds loads, right? Baseline goes up. The brain is running a survival program because you've been there for many years. Maybe you're in a toxic relationship for 10 years. Well, your baseline's been up here for that long that it's now hardwired there. It's locked in. Normally it's supposed to be at 0, right? Normally the way it works is when a lion comes, it goes to 1,000, the lion runs away or gets killed, it goes back to 0. But when you've been in a toxic relationship for 10 years, it's been up here for 10 years. And what happens when that relationship is over and everything is quote unquote safe? It stays there because it's been locked in. The brain created neural pathways. This is your new baseline. This is the new program now, right? And what you have to do is reprogram it by the way you respond, by showing the brain while you're in danger the right responses of safety, right? So I had weird things. Like I had phobias of big fields. All of a sudden, I'm like, why am I? And weird things I don't even understand why I was scared of, and weird thoughts. And my brain wanted to keep me small. It wanted to keep me indoors. It wanted to keep me inside my truck. It wouldn't let me, it didn't like it when I left my truck. So I had to act like, a confident Neanderthal and move around, right? Go get out there and move around and go, brain, look, we're safe. We don't have to stay in the truck. We don't have to stay, I should say car, because I was driving a car at the time. We don't have to stay in the house to be safe. No, we're moving around. We're recalibrating. And the brain will send you weird things that do not make sense. All of a sudden you have PTSD, intrusive thoughts, anxiety, panic attacks, and phobias. And I was a type of guy that not many things in my life scared me. I never got scared. I didn't care. I was like, yeah, well, whatever, right? I always considered myself as a tough guy, like, not scared of anything, right? Nothing scared me. Other people were like, oh my God, tarantulas, they scare the shit out of my God, tarantula. I'm scared of, or people will be scared of rats or mice. And I'd be like, hey buddy, what's going on? Right? Nothing scared me, but now everything scared me, and I had phobias. I had phobias of ticks that came out of nowhere. I never cared about ticks before, and all of a sudden, ticks. And one of my fears was that I was going to have problems with my gallbladder. I'm like, why? Why out of all the things in the world, why not my heart? Why not, something crazy like a stroke or a cancer? No, my gallbladder. So left field, right? And you know what it was able to do on a Tuesday, and it'd be gone on a Friday, depending what the brain picked. Brain would zoom in and go, okay, we got to send him something that will scare the shit out of him, so we got to amplify it times 1,000. So let's find something. Go Now send it to him this big. And something that's so tiny and small and so irrelevant and stupid, the brain can make it seem like you're looking up at a massive mountain, Mount Everest, right? You're like, what the hell is this? Why am I scared of this? Right? Any other time, it would be a little ant or a little grain of sand. Like, oh yeah, so, you know, you're indifferent to it. You're like, this is a grain of sand. Cool. You know, grains of sand are grains of sand. But on that Tuesday, your brain decided to turn it into a... Right? And the brain has the ability and the power to do that. And it will do that to get your attention to perceive danger. Because, golly, because it's not able to send you the regular alarms that it used to be able to send you. It was sitting on a whole supply of alarms. It's like, oh, we're good. Oh, we're good. He's worried about this symptom. We're okay. We're sitting on a whole supply of alarms. We're fine. And all of a sudden the supply is getting lower. He's like, okay, but I think we only got 2 boxes left to supply. Alarm supply. Physical alarm supply. So, you know, all these pole stations are starting to go missing. And I'm getting worried here because I'm perceiving that there's going to be fires everywhere and lions running around. I don't know. This is, I'm getting worried here, right? And also, you're changing, right? The brain does not like change because it leaves you open to danger. So when change happens, it's like, no. It could be a good change. Doesn't matter. It doesn't care what is good. It's change. Change is a threat. The brain likes what it already knows. It's comfortable in it. Even though if you're dealing with symptoms, but it's used to these symptoms, right? It goes, okay, yeah, we're good. No, these are our alarms. You're going to suffer a bit. But we know where we are because you're alive. At the end of the day, you're alive. You're breathing, buddy. So, no, we're staying right here. You're not moving. No, you're not going to pretend to recover. Doubt, right? But once you start to recover, the brain's like, what's going on? There's change happening. Oh, I don't like this. So it brings up the OCD spikes and the anxiety and the intrusive thoughts and the anxiousness and the phobias. And little things will seem like they're massive mountains on a Tuesday, when on a Monday it was just a grain of sand. So be aware of this. It's going to happen. And when it happens, remember this video, watch this video, and put in the comments some of the phobias that you all of a sudden got out of nowhere. And some of the small things that are, and it's going to be some things that don't even make sense. Ridiculous, stupid things. It could be a color. It could be, you know, a box of matches. It could be a field. It could be, you know, your steering wheel. It could be all kinds of, the sound, the clock sound in your grandma's living room when it goes tick tick or whatever, when it goes dang dang, it might trigger you. It might be like the worst, scariest thing that drives you through to the moon, right? When it happens, be aware of it and allow it to do its thing, and know it will pass. The brain will pick something else to blow up, right? It'll pick something else to create into a big mountain, and you're gonna have a fear about something totally new next week Wednesday. And knowing this ahead of time will help you when it does happen. You're going to have more confidence, reassurance, and you're going to move through it faster. And this gives you experience and knowledge, because this is experience and knowledge is the big thing with recovery. Once you get history of something that repeats, experience from it, and knowledge, and when it comes again, you have confidence and you become indifferent to it. So the brain turns that alarm off, and then you move through it. So keep it in mind, you're going to get some phobias, you're going to be scared of some shit, and yes, like the other videos I've mentioned, the OCD and the fear is going to spike like this. And it's going to be relentless, and it's going to hold you there. It's going to be like, no, buddy, we can play tug of war all year. Yeah, I can be here forever, yeah. And eventually, when you see that, this is the golden opportunities. This is prime time. This is where recovery and healing happens. When you allow it, step into it, and ask for more. Then eventually it goes, okay, let's turn that alarm off in time when it's ready, And it lifts as a consequence when you just don't care. Like, yeah, you know what? Let's bring you up higher. Okay. Yeah, okay. Higher. You can't go higher, can you? Yeah, I can. Fuck. Okay, higher, buddy. Alright, I get it. Right? That's how it works. So making these videos with, letting people know it will get relentless. The OCD will spike. Your mental alarms are going to go insane, right? It's going to feel like you're having an exorcism. And the reason why I make more of these videos than anything is because I want people to understand that you have to keep going. Because when people go through this, they think they're doing something wrong or there's something seriously wrong with them and they quit, right? When they come up against this little hill, or big hill I should say, they go, yeah, this must be the wrong, oh man, I don't like this. This is, I can't do this, so I'm gonna walk away, right? And that's what keeps people stuck, and that's why it's what stops people from healing and recovering fully, right? And that's what gets people wishy-washy and go, yeah, I only did half of the work. I don't know, I just couldn't finish it. I know I got stuck. It's because you have to keep going, right? When shit gets hard, that tells you you're doing the right work. You're on the right track. Keep going. So at the end of the day, keep going. Oh, you feel like shit? Yeah, it's going to get worse. Keep going. Right? And I understand when things get hard and scary, your gut instinct at first is to pull away and do something that's more comfortable, that feels safe, that gives you relief, right? Oh, I can't handle these intrusive, I can't, I gotta pull away, I can't do the work. But that just keeps you in one spot, not moving forward. We want to feel intense, relentless alarms now, do the work now, so that when you recover, the rest of your life is free, calm, get your brain back, no more alarms, just quietness. Right? Everything's quiet, beautiful. That's what we want. People have to understand, when you go through recovery, when you're recovering, it's literally like a non-stop exorcism, right? It's like you're walking through hell, slowly, barefoot, uphill, in lava, right? That's the work. And when people don't know that, that's what makes them stop and quit. Because they think that recovery is supposed to be something where you get relief right away and feel good right away. And it's, it's rainbows and cherries and ice cream, right? And unicorns flying around. No, it's not like that. No butterflies. There's no butterflies. It's literal hell on earth. And it's what you do during this hell. How are you responding? That will give you peace on earth at the end of the road, right? That's how it works. So you have to get it in your head that that's how it works. The sooner you get it in your head, the sooner, the easier this journey will be. It's going to be hell still, but it's going to be, you're going to understand. When you understand, you'll keep going. You won't quit, because we don't want you to quit. We want you to recover and get your life back and live a happy life. Don't forget to smile.